You are a Bosmer, and there is a body at your feet you are going to have to eat. You did not hate him. You barely knew him. He came into the green with an axe and a reason, and now he is meat. And the law your God handed you is very clear about meat. You have 3 days. This is the part outsiders never understand. They think the rule is about hunger. They think you are a savage who developed a taste. You are going to wish that were true. Because the rules you live by, every strange, starving, blood-slick one of them, were never about food. They are about what you are underneath, and you are not going to like the answer. The pact you were born into has one commandment about the fallen, and it does not care who fell. When an enemy is conquered, the body is not left to rot. It is eaten. All of it, within 3 days, before the forest takes what you were too slow to. Waste is the thing your people cannot abide. A life spent, then flung to the maggots and the dirt. That is the true obscenity. You tell yourself this. Most days it holds. It holds less well when it is not an enemy. Because the mandate does not stop at the people who came to kill you. It comes for the people who came to help. When your own fall beside you, the friend who pulled you out of the river when you were children, the elder who taught you which berries had already left the branch, you do not bury them. Burial is for people who can afford to waste. You eat your dead. You take them into yourself so that nothing of them is lost to the ground, and you tell yourself that is love, and the terrible thing is that it might be. Outsiders write books about this. They call it barbarism from the safety of cities built by cutting down everything you would die to protect. Let them. You have knelt over someone you loved and done what the pact required, and you know something they never will, that there are worse things than being eaten by someone who wept while they did it. But even this is the gentle version. You do not know that yet. You will. You may eat the dead. You may not eat the living green. Not a leaf, not a root, not a stalk of grain, not a single berry still clinging to the branch that grew it. Everything around you is food, and almost none of it is yours. You live in the most abundant forest on the face of the world, and you will go to sleep hungry before you break a stem off a living plant. There is one mercy in it, a fruit that has already fallen, that let go of the branch on its own, is no longer part of the living thing, and that you may take if you replant the seed. Everything else is closed to you. You cannot farm. You cannot sow or reap or harvest. The oldest and most patient act of every other people on Nirn, the turning of soil into bread, will never once be yours. So you starve in a garden, and when the hunger gets bad, you do the only thing left. You hunt. You take the boar and the bird and the deer, and you make your bows from their bone and your cups from their shell, because you will not carve so much as a spoon from wood. Here is the strangeness you stopped noticing as a child. Your house is alive. You did not build it. Building is for people who kill trees. You grew it. You sang it up out of the ground, coaxed living branches into walls and a roof, and now you live inside something that is still, faintly, breathing, and you cannot snap a single twig off your own wall to feed a fire. You have never once asked why the rule cuts this deep, why a whole people would rather go hungry than break one branch. You call it reverence, devotion, love of the forest. It is closer to a debt, and the forest is not the thing you owe. There is one more thing forbidden to you, and it is the strangest of all, because it is a thing you can actually do. You can wear the shape of a beast. It is in you, the old pliancy, the ability to slip the borders of your own body and become something with claws, or wings, or fur. Other peoples cannot dream of this. You could do it before you could speak, and the pact forbids it. It is a strange thing to forbid. The ban has nothing to do with whether you are able. It is there precisely because you are, so easily that someone, long ago, decided the gift had to be chained. Your face, your form, the shape you were given, these are treated as sacred. To trade them for a wolf's is not a trick. It is a sin. You have always assumed the ban on beast shapes was vanity. A god who liked how he made you and did not want it changed. But a chain that heavy is never about vanity. You do not bar a door that hard unless there is something behind it you are terrified will get out. And there is a shape underneath the wolf shape. One older, one the pact fears so much it will not even let you walk toward the door that leads there. You have been standing in front of that door your whole life. You were just never told what it was. Before there was a you, there was the ooze. This is the oldest thing your spinners know. In the first days, before the forest, before names, nothing held a shape. Life poured across the world, formless and frantic. A thing becoming a plant, becoming an animal, becoming nothing and back again. Unable to stay itself for the length of one breath. There was no difference between you and the mud and the beast and the tree, because there was no you. There was only the churn. And then Yfre, the singer, the storyteller, the spirit of the now, did the first and only thing that has ever saved you. He told a story. He gave the churn a shape and a name and made the name hold. He became the first law of the world, so the world would stop dissolving. And into that new stillness, he spoke you. A Bosmer. This face. This body. This one form that stays. You are not a person who is handed some rules. You are a story being told. And the rules are the price of the telling. The plants you starve rather than eat are not lesser things. They are relatives, named the same day you were. Every prohibition you resented as arbitrary is one thing wearing many masks. Do not unravel the story, because you are inside it, and it is the only reason you have a self to resent anything with at all. Not everyone said yes. When the story was first offered, there were those among your ancestors who would not take it. They did not want one face. They wanted the old freedom, to be everything, to hold no shape, to never be pinned to a single name. And so they refused the pact and kept their formlessness. You have been taught what happened to them, though your people do not like to say it out loud. They were not killed. Killing would have been mercy. They were sealed back into the ooze they loved so much, and when they die, there they are struck from the story entirely. No name to be remembered by, no afterlife to be gathered into, no ancestors waiting on the other side. The freedom they chose over the pact turned out to be a grave that will not even let you be buried. That is what waits behind the chained door. That is why it is chained. And here is the part that should stop your blood. The door was left openable, on purpose. In your people's most desperate hour, you are permitted to open it, to lay the story down willingly, and pour yourselves back into the churn. A whole host of you at once, becoming a flood of shifting, nameless things that devours everything in its path, and, when nothing is left to devour, turns and devours itself. It is the most feared thing your kind can do. It wins wars, and no one who has seen it will speak of it with anything but dread, because it does not end when the battle does. Those who go wild do not come back. The story will not take them again. They stay monsters. Every nightmare thing that has ever stalked the dark edges of the world was, once, one of you. Someone with a face, and a name, and a house that breathed, who gave it all back. So go back to the body at your feet, the one you did not hate, the one you have 3 days to take into yourself. You understand now what your hands are really doing. The small, sane, survivable measure of a hunger that could unmake you, held to a rule, given a shape, kept from the flood. To be named is to be kept. Everything the pact asks of you, the starving, the blood, the branch you will not break, is the cost of staying someone at all. Someone with a face that can be remembered, and a self that can be missed. You know that feeling. The rules in your own life that chafe the worst are so often the ones quietly holding you in a shape the people who love you can still find. If you want more lives told back to you like this, the kind of story you want to keep beside you at the end of long days, follow, and the next one will find you. Now kneel. The light is going gold through the leaves. The forest has gone still around you, and there is a debt to pay before dark. And for one more day, you are still yourself enough to pay it.